All the drama that has been going on in the World Cup with the India men's cricket team dominating and ensuring that they are coming a step closer to ensuring that they end a decade old ICC jinx. On the sidelines today in Jharkhand, in Ranchi today, the India women's hockey team scripted history. They defeated Japan 4-0 in the final of the Women's Asians Champions Trophy. And because of that, now they have won their first title in the Women's Asians Champions Trophy after 7 years. In 2016, the India women's hockey team had won the Asian Champions Trophy, and since then they have had nothing but heartbreak. Now, this title win comes in the backdrop of a very disappointing and heartbreaking campaign that happened with the women's team in Guangzhou. Remember, in Guangzhou, if you had to get through to the Olympics, you have to win the gold medal. Unfortunately, India, when it came to the crunch game against China in the semi final, they were unfortunately hammered 4-0. But in the subsequent bronze medal match, they defeated Japan, who are the defending champions at this point in time. Now, heading into the Asian Champions Trophy, the Women's Asian Champions Trophy, Savita Punia had outlined in an interview like how much were the amount of sacrifices that the team had to do in order to ensure that they had to win the medal in Guangzhou. The brief was clear for them. They had to win the medal. And that is why, when you look at it, it was really heartbreaking to see the women's team lose. Now, in the Women's Asian Champions Trophy, their journey has been really spectacular. They defeated China and ensured that they got the revenge for their loss in the Asian Games. Then, in two subsequent league games, 5-0 they defeated South Korea, then they defeated South Korea 2-0 in the semi-finals. And even here in this semi-final, in this final that they played against Japan, in front of a packed stadium in Ranchi, India dominated. It took a goal from Neha Kumari to ensure that India got going, and there was an equalizer by Japan which was disallowed. Why was it disallowed? Because when the Japanese midfielder went for the goal, the ball actually touched her hand first, and that's why it was disallowed. India continued to dominate circle penetrations and possession, and until the fourth quarter, they had held their own. But Japan's defense fell off a cliff in the fourth quarter. The likes of Vandana Kataria, Deep Grey Seka, and if you look at it, all the other Indian women, they went up and absolutely decimated Japan 4-0. So Neha Kumari and the likes of Vandana Kataria, they have been simply magnificent, and because of that, India have achieved two things. One, they have ensured that they took revenge over all their opponents who they had beaten in the Asian Games in Guangzhou. Second, first Asian Champions Trophy after 7 years. That's how important this victory was for the Indian women's hockey team. Now, how is it important for the psyche of this Indian women's hockey team? Number one, it ensures that they head into January 2024 high on confidence. Why January 2024 is very important? Because it is at that time when India will be hosting the qualifiers, the FIH Hockey Olympic qualifiers. And India will have to ensure that they finish in the top three. The top three in that FIH qualifiers make it directly into the Paris Olympics. If they lose that, if they go out of the top three, then it is trouble for the India women's hockey team. But because the FIH Olympic qualifiers, where it's going to be held in Jharkhand, initially it was expected to be held in Changzhou in China, but later on the FIH shifted it and it's now going to be held in Ranchi. So it is double pleasure for India, knowing that they can dominate in home conditions. They will be aiming to ensure that they qualify for Paris Olympics 2024, because January will be the last window upon which they can do it. So that is why this Asian Champions Trophy is a big boost for India's chances when you look at whether they can qualify for Paris Olympics 2024. This title has no bearing on their qualification, but will put them in a good mental frame of mind heading into the FIH hockey qualifiers that will be held in Ranchi in the next couple of months. So January 2024 is the next big thing. Now, if you look at it, the likes of Neha Kumari, the likes of Gurjan, the likes of Vandana Kataria, the Gurdeep Kaur, all of them, they have been in top form in this particular tournament. But the star has been Deep Grey Seka. Eka's penetration, midfield, and the way how she attacked has ensured that India always had the initiative. So that's why with this team, India, barring a miracle, may not secure the Paris Olympics 2024 quota. So remember, the FIH Hockey Olympic qualifiers is the next big step when India have to do well. And this Asian Champions Trophy, breaking a 7-year drought is not easy, folks. And that is why this win is very, very important for the morale of the Indian hockey team. Remember, the men may have been doing well. The men won the Asian Champions Trophy and they also decimated all their opponents in the Asian Games as well. But remember, the women's team, on the other hand, they have had an uphill struggle, and that's why the likes of Savita and all of them, this Asian Champions Trophy success is much, much more important. So, congratulations to the India women's hockey team for putting up such a magnificent show in this. But remember, the stakes are high now. With this Asian Champions Trophy success, their morale now is on the next level as they prepare for the FIH Hockey Olympic qualifiers. Remember, India has to finish in the top three. If they do not finish in the top three during that FIH Hockey Olympic qualifiers, their chances of Paris 2024 are over. So now this Asian Champions Trophy, let us hope that it starts the revival of the India women's hockey team and that the missed opportunity that they had in Guangzhou is corrected in this way. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap the bell icons when we go live, and don't forget we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye bye.